All right, hey everybody. So as you can tell, this is not a very normal setting for me. I've actually made a blanket for it in my room because I felt like it. But also because I wanted to watch Hamilton. It literally, today is July 3rd when I'm recording this, and so it literally just dropped on Disney Plus. And I think it's really important. I'm not going to talk about the actual story. I'm not going to talk about the actors, the setting, the music. They were all beautiful. They were all brilliant. It was an absolutely phenomenal show. Instead, what I want to talk about is the accessibility of theater. Now, for those that don't know, every single Broadway show is actually recorded. It is recorded, it is archived for future purposes, for integrity, whatever it may be. And it's very rare that these recordings ever get seen. The Hamilton one is one such item. Now, if you are a fan of Broadway, or even if you just stumbled upon Broadway Twitter every here and there, you will know that there's a lot of debate between bootlegs and official productions and going to actually see the show. And here's the thing. Broadway is inherently classist. The cheapest Broadway ticket I have ever found was, I believe, $27, and it was to the Phantom of the Opera, and it was like the worst seat in the house. Not complaining, that was actually the first time I had ever seen Phantom, but $27 to spend 3 hours in the theater, and that was the absolute lowest. Typically you're looking at at least $50, and that is for rare mezzanine. Good luck with that. And that's not taking into account travel. That's not taking into account, even I live on Long Island right now. It takes, I believe, $12 just to get into the city. So another $12 to get out. Plus, if you're in the city, you're going to want some food or something. If you don't have hundreds of dollars lying around, you're not going to be able to go to Broadway. And that's just for the people who are in the general area of Broadway or even major shows. Chicago's a big hot spot. And there's no way, if you live in the middle of Idaho, you don't have many options apart from possibly regional theater. And even then, you might not have one of those. So it is really important, I feel, that we put this art out there, because that's what this is art. Theater is art. I've said it before and I will say it again. Theater is absolutely art. I understand the concern with, if we make it publicly available, no one's going to want to see the show. And I can tell you right now that's wrong, because there's something about being in the theater. And if you've never really been to a theater or Broadway, or a concert or anything, the best thing I could just tell you, there's a magical feeling about watching something on stage, that just cannot be transferred over to the screen. It's just, that's the plain and simple fact of it. And so because of that, people are still going to want to make the trip if they're able to. But for those that aren't able to, you suddenly get new fans. You suddenly get people that are posting about your show. Sure, that's not direct money into your pockets, but word of mouth is phenomenal nowadays. We live and die by user reviews and what people post on Twitter and Snapchat. And if you allow people into your show, into that physical space for 2.5 hours on screen, they're gonna love it. So kind of back to the actual recording. Again, this was the actual stage recording. This was not an adaptation of the show. This was it was purely filmed. They didn't make any changes apart from apparently 2 F-bombs they took out just to keep that PG-13 rating, which whatever. one thing that I've been seeing on Twitter recently, with the whole Hamilton film being released on Disney Plus, is the notion of, the easiest way to say it is, Hamilton is the exception, not the rule. Yes, it is phenomenal that people of color are in this amazing show. It's phenomenal that, it's a rap musical, which would not traditionally or typically ever have been made. But that is the exception. It's not the rule. And that's the thing. And you, again, if you follow Broadway Twitter, you will know that there's a lot of people out there that, the roles are not there for them because of the color of their skin, or because of whatever else it may be that is inherently racist. And it's great and all that Hamilton was made, and Hamilton is being, Hamilton became this popular, but we have to remember that it is the exception and not the rule. Another thing that we have to remember is the Founding Fathers were not that cool. What Lin-Manuel Miranda did with them, fantastic. What they actually did in their lives, not so much. And we do get a taste of that. They actually do mention slavery and some of the characters having slaves, but all of them did. All the Founding Fathers did. And does that automatically mean that we should hate all the Founding Fathers? No, but it means that just because Hamilton, the show, portrays them as in this cool light, doesn't mean that they are cool. And doesn't mean that they're not wrong for what they did. And I know that, it was a product of its time. Yes, but that doesn't make it okay. I have to say, I just love Jonathan Groff in this. I think his performance as King George is just phenomenal. I mean, all the cast did phenomenal. All the singing was great. The scenery, the spinning stage, all beautiful. And I thoroughly did enjoy it. Technically speaking, this is not a movie. It is a recording of a theatrical performance. Now, we have had movie musicals. We have had musicals turned into movies. West Side Story, Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis. I could probably go on for about 20 minutes and just keep coming up with examples. It's one of those things that Hollywood loves to do. But this specifically, Hamilton, which is now on Disney Plus, not a sponsor, but feel free to, is not. It's a filmed version and therefore not a movie. Now, I did my undergrad in drama, so I do know a thing or two about it, hopefully. So even though it's not technically a movie, I am still going to give it a review, because I think it's more important that we accept these kind of things. We accept these filmed productions as something within the normalness of our world. We welcome Broadway, and we welcome all theater in. There's even a YouTube channel called The Show Must Go On, and every weekend they've been putting on, like on a 48-hour loop or something, full shows, full stage shows. And, they're a bit older. I watched Cats. I think Sound of Music was up there. I think Peter Pan Live has been up there. And it's one of those things where theater can be so beautiful, but only when it's available to everybody. And right now it's really not. It's working on it. It's getting there. Hamilton, when it was playing, before all this, they had the 10 for 10, the ham for ham. You literally got to see the show for $10, which is great. They did like 10 people for that, each showing, but then the other tickets were like $600. That's like a crap ton of money. And yes, other shows are having lottery and standing room only and student tickets and all that stuff. But even then, I saw Les Mis once, and it was student tickets, and it was, I think, $37, which is fine and all, but, I had to stand outside for 2 hours in the freezing cold. I mean, mind you, they did eventually let us into the lobby, but it's just one of those things where even $37, that's 2, maybe 3 meals. Not even great meals, just meals. And for some people, that's just not a reality that they can live in. Having shows available like this is definitely something I think that is worthwhile. Back to the rating. I just think it's going to get 5 stars because, as I said, the acting was amazing, the singing was amazing, the scenery was amazing, and the fact of them actually taking this and putting it somewhere that is so publicly accessible. And yes, I know it's on a streaming platform and it's not super free, but it's still a business. They do stuff to make some money from it. And I just think it's wonderful what they're doing, and I really do hope that other shows start to follow suit. I look forward to watching more shows in my blanket fort that I've now constructed. So keep watching movies and stay safe. Whoa, don't click away yet. Check out the link tree in the description where you can connect with me on Instagram and YouTube, send me suggestions of what to watch next, and check out past reviews.